What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Showbear with another video, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I've made a lot of these videos over the past couple of days, but you know, I'm a really big anime enthusiast, so I really like anime. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of it. I recently watched the 1,000-year Blood War arc for Bleach, and not really recently, I kind of watched it when it came out, and it was really beautifully animated, and it was really good. Starting off at a really good spot. I began reading it like some years ago, but I never finished. So it's kind of great that the anime is here to you know, just give us new life to Bleach. Now, speaking of new life for Bleach, I feel like Bleach video games are either like very few or really non-existent. There's been a very famous like series that's only in Japan. It's like Bleach the Heat Soul or something like that, and it's only been in Japan for a while. But that's like so far removed at this point. We haven't had a new Bleach game is what I'm hitting at. Now, granted, when you talk about like the big three, what are the big three? It's Ichigo from Bleach, it's Naruto from Naruto, it's Luffy from One Piece. What I can't seem to understand is why, out of all three of those, now obviously Naruto's probably has the best games. One Piece is not necessarily a close second, but it does okay with the games. They just released the One Piece Odyssey, that's like a turn-based JRPG, that's pretty cool. But to jump back to Bleach, Bleach has a couple of games. You know, they have like the mobile games too, like Bleach Brave Souls. You can currently play it on PlayStation and stuff, and it's cool. But for me personally, even though I feel like a lot of these today's mobile games are actually getting good enough to become full games for sure, I think that that's kind of dated as like a console game. And you know, like there's a couple of games like My Hero and stuff that I would actually see transitioning from a mobile game to a straight on console game. But like I said, that Bleach Brave Souls been out for years. It's more on the mobile game side, so for me it's kind of pointless to pull it out and play it on my PS5. Got like games like Bleach, The Blade of Fate for DS, a couple of Wii games. Funny story about the Wii games though. Back then I was well, I'm not gonna say that because that might be actually illegal, but it was actually a friend of mine that had like burned DVDs, and he would like, the Wii was like hacked or whatever, so he would basically go and get like games exclusively in Japan and stuff. So there was actually 2 games for Wii. It was actually a couple like Bleach games for Wii. I think it was like 1 or 2, and basically you know, he downloaded this kind of hacked game, and one of them was Bleach, and he always used to kind of invite us over to beat on us with it. You know what I'm saying? The guy that has the game and the only copy of the game around the neighborhood is obviously gonna be good at the game. I bring it up because, you know, I've had a good history with the Bleach Wii games. Like I've played the I think it's Shattered Blade. I played that one for Wii, and I think that one has like a whole different cast and stuff, and I actually would not mind actually playing it again because that was a really fun series. And that game in itself was more like a fighting game. The reason I bring this up is because it you know, besides the PS3 game for Bleach, which I think is Soul Resurrection, yeah, I can't say the name, Soul Resurrection basically, you know, there's not really been many games, and they haven't really been that great. Like I said, I played the couple on Wii, and they were fine, they were great. And a lot of them were locked in Japan if you're going to go to the PSP side of things. But as far as Bleach goes, we've been kind of weak on the games. Now let's discuss what game could we see from Wii. I said from Wii, from Bleach. To be honest, I'm kind of done with the whole fighting game genre. I think at this point it's just too many anime fighting games. An adventure game would be cool. I think that's what the PS3 game was, but it would have to be done in a way that is actually marketable. Because while I feel like they did have an exploration and like a level-based system in the PS3 game, it just wasn't that interesting to me. Like, it's cool because it's a Bleach game, but honestly, I could see something like how they did with One Piece Odyssey, just like a turn of form, like something that's just kind of out of left field. To be honest, I would definitely see more of a turn-based system in Bleach than anything. It's already kind of modeled like your typical JRPG. You got your Kido, that's like your magic spells, and there's so many of them that, you know, they can kind of vary between characters or whoever character can do them. You got your Shikai, which is basically like your sword transformation, and then you got your Bankai, which would probably be like the little ultimate move or ultimate transformation. Even explaining it, a JRPG doesn't sound like it could be good, but I'm willing to give it a try. Even as I mentioned it though, as I was describing it, to be honest, it sounds like it could really make a good fighting game. You know, I said I don't want to see anymore, and that's true. but it definitely could make another good fighting game. I mean, it has a lot of different transformations and techniques, and a lot of different characters. That's the one thing that Bleach definitely has. It has characters in its roster. Like anything from the big three has a lot of characters. So when you have a great assortment of characters with different abilities and different skills, they make for the best fighting games. Like One Piece will make a great fighting game. Demon Slayer was not so much a good fighting game to me because I felt like a lot of the characters were either like reskins, or it just wasn't a good number of difference in between characters. Bleach could definitely do it. I wouldn't want it, but it could definitely do it. I always advocate for a game to get a Dragon Ball Kakarot style of game. Like straight up, really fancy, really well done, adventure type story where you go through a certain character's life. Like you would choose Ichigo and then you would play the events that only Ichigo had to deal with, but in a much grander scale, like in an open world setting. You would basically take Ichigo and see how he reacts to certain events, and you can like kind of, get a little bit of information about the stuff between the anime. I love games where you can kind of go and talk to NPCs, talk to characters that you wouldn't really know, and just get a little bit of background information from Bleach itself. I think Kakarot is a great game. I think it's a really great game. The only thing that messed me up is because I got tired of playing the same Dragon Ball Z Goku story all over again. But games like with Ichigo or One Piece at its lead, it could really do a lot of numbers. Then there's possibility of a game like Shizuna vs Shinobi Strikers, where you create your own Soul Reaper with your own Soul Reaper abilities. Although in terms of actually like making that would be kind of weird, considering that you would either have to have custom like Shikais and custom Bankais, or your character could technically have the ability to copy other people's Bankais and Shikais, and that could be like how they introduce you having a character that can do all of these different things. With your character can like copy Bankais and you go train other people and get stronger. I love this universe type games too. I'm always down for that interpretation of gaming. Shinobi Strikers, not really so much, but I can see what they could do with that. Allow you to play with the characters from Bleach and use them in a kind of team battle type situation. That could be cool. That also features creative character but not a heavy single player story experience. So with that being said, guys, I'm honestly curious. Like, how do you feel like this could work? Because like I said, I do think we do need another Bleach game while the hype is good and we have all this new fancy Blood War Arc animation and the anime's back and it's popping. I think it'd be the perfect time to actually go for a game. But what kind of game? Would you want to see a fighting game? Everybody always wants to see a fighting game. I'm kind of tired of those. I'm not saying it's just for me, but I'm just kind of tired of those games because I feel like there are just a lot of people call them Jujutsu Kaisen, the new game, basically a skin on Naruto Storm, and I don't want Bleach to get that treatment. So with that being said, guys, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.